Most gardeners spend years chasing healthy soil with bags of fertilizer and endless tilling, and the result is always the same. The soil never really gets better, it just gets temporarily fed. The real issue is not what you are adding to your soil, it is what you are not growing in it. There is a shift happening in regenerative agriculture right now, and it starts with 5 specific flowers that work underground as chemical engineers, mining minerals, suppressing pathogens, and feeding microbes around the clock. This is the biological system your garden has been missing. The 2026 regenerative standards being adopted by serious growers are moving away from passive composting and static soil amendments towards something far more dynamic, which is active root orchestration. Instead of viewing flowers as aesthetic additions, this approach treats them as underground workers with specific biological jobs. Each of the 5 flowers we are covering today has a distinct role in the system, but together they create something far greater than the sum of their parts. 1. Borage. Most people who grow borage only know it for its blue flowers and the way it pulls bees in from across the yard. That is the surface story. The real story is happening 3 feet underground. Borage develops one of the most aggressive taproot systems of any annual you can plant in a kitchen garden. That root acts as a biological drill, pushing through compacted layers of subsoil to access minerals that your tomatoes, squash, and beans simply cannot reach on their own. Calcium, potassium, magnesium, trace iron. These sit locked in the subsoil in forms that shallow-rooted crops have no access to, and Borage pulls them up season after season. As Borage breaks down, those leaves, loaded with potassium and silica accumulated from deep in the soil profile, release their minerals back into the zone where your crops actually feed. Regenerative growers call this green manure biohacking. You are not importing fertility. You're mining it vertically and redistributing it exactly where it is needed. Borage also creates a hydraulic lift effect. During dry periods, the deep taproot pulls moisture from lower soil horizons and releases it into the upper layers overnight. In a summer heat wave, your neighboring plants benefit from that moisture without you running a single hose. 2. Calendula. If Borage is the mineral miner, Calendula is the precision pathogen suppressor. Calendula roots release specific exudate compounds including alpha-terthienol, a naturally occurring chemical that is directly hostile to root knot nematodes. These are the microscopic soil organisms that cause galling on tomato roots, stunt pepper plants, and quietly destroy beds year after year without any visible damage until it is already too late. Calendula handles this biologically, releasing its suppressive chemistry passively through the root system for as long as the plant is in the ground. Beyond nematodes, Calendula's resin content creates a rhizosphere environment that harmful soil-borne fungi find difficult to colonize. Fusarium and Pythium species are suppressed not through chemical kill, but through competitive exclusion. When Calendula's chemistry dominates the microbial layer, beneficial bacteria move in and hold the space. Your soil biology shifts from a stressed, pathogen-heavy environment toward a clean, productive one that your crops can actually thrive in. If you are learning something new here, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. We break down biological gardening strategies like this every week, and you do not want to miss what comes next. 3. Yarrow brings deeply cut foliage that decomposes into fine organic matter quickly, and its roots release alkaloids that stimulate microbial activity in the surrounding soil. It functions as a biological activator, accelerating the decomposer layer that sits between your surface mulch and the active root zone. Where Borage and Calendula set the conditions, Yarrow speeds up the biological response and keeps the microbial population in continuous activity. That constant biological churn is what converts raw organic matter into plant-available nutrition faster than any amendment you could purchase. 4. Nasturtium. Nasturtium acts as a trap crop for aphids above ground, drawing pest pressure away from your primary crops. Below ground, it releases glucosinolates that deter fungal gnats and soil-dwelling beetles without any chemical input. It also trails across the surface between rows, covering bare soil and building biomass continuously across the growing season. That ground cover function alone reduces moisture loss and keeps the surface biology from drying out between watering cycles. 5. Sweet Alyssum. Sweet Alyssum works as the ground-level anchor of the entire system. Planted as a border or understory layer, it builds surface biomass that protects soil moisture and feeds surface-level decomposers around the clock. It keeps the top inch of soil covered and biologically active, which is exactly where most of the beneficial microbial exchange happens. The flowers also provide a consistent nectar source that keeps beneficial insect populations stable and working throughout the entire season. Together, all 5 create layered biological coverage from the deep subsoil up to the topmost surface layer. This is the underground trade network that most gardeners never see and never build because they are focused entirely on what is happening above ground. When Borage and Calendula anchor the system, and Yarrow, Nasturtium, and Sweet Alyssum fill the supporting roles, they create a nutrient cycling relay that runs continuously. Organic matter from all 5 feeds the decomposer layer. That layer feeds the fungi. The fungi feed your crops. This loop does not need managing once it is established. It runs on its own, driven purely by root activity and microbial exchange. That connects directly to mycorrhizal fungi, the underground network that makes all of this scalable. When you stop tilling and start building diverse root systems across your beds, you stop destroying the fungal threads that connect plants to one another. These networks actively transport phosphorus, water, and carbon between plants, allowing a struggling seedling on one end of the bed to draw support from an established plant on the other. Interplanting these 5 flowers feeds and expands this fungal network, giving your whole system a living infrastructure for continuous resource sharing. You can watch this shift in your soil texture within a single growing season. Compacted ground starts to soften. Earthworm activity increases noticeably. Water penetration improves. These are not slow, multi-year results. They are the direct, measurable outcome of biological diversity, replacing mechanical intervention. When it comes to spacing, plant Borage roughly 45 to 60 centimeters from your primary crops to give the taproot room to develop without shading smaller plants. Calendula can go closer, around 30 centimeters, because its nematode suppression happens in the upper 6 inches of soil. Yarrow and Sweet Alyssum work well as border plantings along bed edges, and Nasturtium can trail across the surface between rows, covering ground and building biomass simultaneously. Timing matters too. Borage and Calendula both have peak flowering windows when root exudate activity is at its highest. For most climates, this falls in mid-spring through early summer. Chop and drop the foliage just before full flower to return maximum biological value to the surface layer right when summer heat starts stressing your soil the most. Stop buying fertility. Start growing it. These 5 flowers are not a gardening trend. They are a return to the biological system that built every productive inch of topsoil on this planet before we started mining it with synthetic inputs. Plant the biology and let the soil do the rest. If this video changed how you think about your soil, drop a like and share it with someone who is still relying on fertilizer bags to keep their garden alive. Every share helps this community grow, and so does your garden.